Day 42, Governance and Compliance Mechanics, Model Cards plus Lineage, Glue plus Auditability, WA Tool GenAI Lens. Shashtak, big idea, one sentence. If you can't explain which model, which data, which version, who approved it, and when it ran, your GenAI system is non-compliant. Model cards. What exactly is this model? A model card is documentation, not code. It answers what the model is for, what was trained on high level, known limitations and biases, safety considerations, approved use cases, version history. In AWS exams, model cards exist to support governance, risk review, compliance audits. Exam signal explainability, intended use, limitations, risk model card. Har2 lineage. Where did this output come from? Lineage means traceability across the entire pipeline. Data source, transformations, embeddings, retrieval, model version, prompt version. AWS expects lineage to be machine traceable, not tribal knowledge. Where lineage lives, exam friendly. Use AWS Glue for data cataloging, dataset versioning, schema tracking, transformation history. Glue helps answer which dataset version fed this model run. Exam trap. If lineage is described as documented in a wiki. Na3, auditability. Who did what and when? This is non-negotiable in regulated systems. Use AWS CloudTrail to record model invocations, prompt updates, agent tool executions, permission changes, approvals. CloudTrail answers who changed the prompt, who deployed the model, when was this endpoint called, from which identity. Exam signal, audit, forensics, compliance evidence, CloudTrail. Nabisher 4, how these pieces fit together. This is the exam core. Think of governance as layers, not tools. Layered governance stack, model card, intent and risk, Glue lineage, data truth, CloudTrail, action evidence, logs, traces, execution detail. No single service is enough. 5. AWS well-architected tool, GenAI Lens. AWS doesn't just give services, it gives review frameworks. The AWS well-architected tool with the GenAI Lens helps teams assess governance readiness, risk management, auditability, responsible AI practices. It asks, are models documented? Is lineage traceable? Are actions auditable? Are guardrails enforced? Exam Nuance WA tool does not enforce, it assesses. Number 6, AWS Static+2, important twist here. Most days are static plus 1. Governance is static plus 2. Static. Governance rules, audit requirements, approval processes. Plus 1, system execution. Auditor, reviewer, regulator. Your system must satisfy someone who was not present at runtime. That's why documentation plogs both matter. Number 7, real governance questions your system must answer. If your architecture can't answer these, it fails compliance. Which model version produced this output? Which prompt version was used? Which data sources were involved? Who approved this configuration? When was it executed? Was it within approved use? AWS exams quietly test all 6. 8. Classic exam traps, very common. CloudWatch logs are enough for audit. Model cards are optional. Lineage only matters for training. WA tool enforces compliance. Explainability, better prompts. Governance, observability, prompt quality. One memory story, lock it in. The court case, model card, expert testimony, what this model is allowed to do. Glue lineage, evidence chain, where the data came from. CloudTrail CCTV footage, who touched what. WA tool, pre-trial checklist, are we compliant? If any piece is missing, the case collapses. Exam compression rules memorize. Explain intent, model card, trace data, glue lineage, prove actions, CloudTrail, assess readiness, the tool GenAI Lens. Governance equals static 2. If an answer focuses only on runtime logs, incomplete. What AWS is really testing. They're asking, open quote, could this GenAI system survive a regulatory audit 6 months later? Close quote, not. Open quote, does it answer questions correctly? Close quote. If your answer includes documentation, lineage, audit trails, formal review, you're answering at AWS professional governance level. Below is a full, realistic, end-to-end governance example that maps exactly to model cards, lineage glue, auditability, CloudTrail, WA tool GenAI Lens, AWS Static+2 thinking. Real example, day 42. Governance and compliance mechanics scenario. A health insurance company uses a GenAI system to answer coverage questions, explain policy clauses, assist support agents, not customers directly. This system is regulated. 6 months after launch, an auditor investigates a complaint. The complaint, this is the trigger. On March 3rd, the AI incorrectly advised that a treatment was covered. The auditor asks, 1. Which model answered? 2. Which data was used? 3. Which prompt version? 4. Who approved it? 5. When was it run? 6. Was it allowed to do that? Your system must answer all 6. Model card proving intent and limits. The GenAI team maintains a model card for the deployed model. It states, intended use, internal decision support only, not allowed, final medical or coverage decisions, known risks, ambiguity in legacy policy wording. Version v3.2, approval, risk and compliance team, why this matters. The auditor immediately sees, this model should not be making final decisions. This reduces liability. Exam signal, explainability, intended use, risk review, model card. Lineage, tracing the data path, glue. The auditor now asks, what data did the model rely on? The company uses AWS Glue for lineage. Glue shows source dataset, policy docs 2024 4Q1, ingested from S3 bucket, policy source prod, cleaned by ETL job policy normalize v2, embedded using Titan embed v2, indexed on 2025-0220 critical point. You can say, the model did not see policies added after Feb 20th. That explains the error. Exam trap avoided. Lineage is machine traceable, not we think it was this data. Hack auditability. Who did what when? CloudTrail, next auditor question. Who changed anything? Using AWS CloudTrail, you show prompt updated on Feb 18th by user policy admin, model alias switched on Feb 25th by CI/CD role, agent invoked on Mar 3rd at 20TC, caller identity, support agent 783, source IP, corporate VPN, why CloudTrail matters, immutable, identity aware, time ordered, exam signal, audit, who changed, when deployed, CloudTrail, execution evidence, tying it together, you now correlate, CloudTrail, who when, Glue lineage, what data, model card, what it's allowed to do. You conclude, model used approved version, data was outdated but approved, prompt stayed within allowed scope, output exceeded intended use. This is governance, not debugging. WA tool GenAI Lens, pre-audit readiness. Before launch, the team ran the AWS well-architected tool with the GenAI Lens. The review asked, do you maintain model cards? Is lineage traceable? Are invocations auditable? Are guardrails enforced? Recommend improvement. The risk was documented before production. Exam nuance WA tool does not enforce controls. It proves due diligence. Auditors love this. AWS Static+2, this example in exam terms. Static, model cards, governance rules, approval workflows. +1, model execution, Mar 3rd. +2, auditor reviewing months later. Your system survives time scrutiny. That's the leap from Static 1, Static 2. Why this system passes compliance? Because it can answer with evidence. Question answered by Tare. Which model? Model card. Which version? Model card. CloudTrail. Which data? Glue lineage. Who approved? Model card. When executed? Was it allowed? Model card. Missing anyone? Compliance failure. One memory story. Lock this forever. The courtroom, model card, expert testimony, what the model is allowed to do. Glue lineage, chain of custody, where data came from. CloudTrail, CCTV footage, who touched what. WA tool, pretrial checklist, where best practices followed. If you can't show evidence, you lose, no matter how good the model is. Hashed ultra-short exam cheat sheet, intent and risk, model cards, data truth, glue lineage, actions and identity, CloudTrail, readiness review, WA tool GenAI Lens. Governance equals Static+2. If an answer only mentions logs, incomplete. If it mentions documentation, lineage, audit, correct.